Well, the most insane chat leak just occurred with the New York Young Republicans Club in New York. I love Hitler. Leaked messages expose Young Republicans' racist chat. Politico reports some people saying things like, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. Other people said, we are officially under consideration for a Trump endorsement. Down the line, it also said, kick that bitch. There's jokes about RAPE and also stay in the closet, you F word. Oh my gosh, man, these people wouldn't have survived 2006 in a Halo online game, because it seems like the boys have always been talking like this, but it's actually showed a lot of what's going wrong in our country, as many of the people inside of this chat were fired. Was that the right thing to do? Well, I'll tell you this, never apologize, as even those who apologize have been thrown under the bus. And this has caused a stir in the Republican Party. Are we really racist? Are we sexist, misogynist, homophobic? Well, we're talking about that and so much more here. Another episode of The Rift live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's start the show. My name's Elijah Schaefer. Let's get a round of applause here and welcome back to another episode of The Rift. I am your host, joined by RiftTV.com contributor Michael Hennessy. Welcome back.
Hey, happy to be here. It looks like they found my chat, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, still happy to be here.
Less dick pics, and so we know it wasn't yours, but it's true. And joining us as well, back on another fresh Wednesday night, Rift TV contributor, and who freshly got his TikTok back with 1.9 million followers, Braeden Sorbo. It's good to have you back.
We are so back. Yeah, big fan of, when they say Hitler, obviously William Patrick Hitler, Adolf's nephew who fought on the Allies side. That's what we're talking about, guys. Come on.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're talking about that. Plus, we have some inside information on what's going on with this change up on X, the platform, as they're saying they're going to be possibly taking away the creator payouts due to abuses by people in other countries, but they're going to be rolling out a new thing that we'll hit on later in the show that I think is fantastic by one of their new heads of product, who suggested that maybe, just maybe, we don't have to punish everyone, but we at least should let Americans know whether you're getting spoken to by someone in India. They've decided they're going to be releasing a feature where it shows which country you are tweeting from. It's very important to know. I don't know if it's going to see VPNs, but bot farms are about to go way under. Additionally, we are discussing a little bit about past that. About Trump and Sheldon Adelson and their connection here with dark money that has made them more loyal to Israel than to the United States. And there's more laws against free speech, basically. It's anti-Semitism stuff. All right, joining me today, my contributors were talking about this. However, I want to remind you guys that national security today encompasses more than military strength. It includes critical resources like copper, essential for U.S. infrastructure, clean energy, and advanced technology. The U.S. depends heavily on foreign copper, but with prices at a 16-month high, global supply chains, and the potential closure of major Indonesian mines, domestic production is now a national security priority. That's where District Copper Corp comes in. District Copper Corp, listed on the U.S. Stock Exchange under the ticker $CAXPF, and the Toronto Stock Exchange under $DCOP, is addressing this challenge. Its projects is a resource-rich region, positioning it to strengthen domestic supply chains, reducing reliance on foreign metals. Copper is critical for power grids, electronics, defense systems, and also a sketchy neighbor down the street who needs your copper wires to buy his drugs. But that being said, with rising demand, strategic projects, and the Trump administration's focus on critical metals, District Copper is poised to play a key role in securing America's future. Check it out today. Now let's get back to the show. Links on the screen and in the description. All right, jumping into the topic for today. Politico talks about this. So it's a very, very, very spicy title. And why is this the news? I asked Grok, is it the news for the boys' chat to leak? Well, apparently it is. We're going to find that there's a very big problem going on in the freedom side of the American government. And that problem involves something more than bad and naughty messages. That problem is the fact that while the left tends to put their greatest fighters on the front lines, think of it like this. The left is like, hey, we'll empty our prisons. We'll put our murderers on the front line. If you like to kill, you don't care about being killed, if you've got nothing to live for, go fight for us. And the right's like, hey, you know what? So you're telling me that you're a Navy SEAL special op trainee? why don't you go ahead and take care of the cafeteria for us? They like to take their own people that are their best fighters and lock them up. And you wonder why we lose despite being the populace. Well, Politico reports a very shocking story here titled, I Love Hitler, which is interesting because someone could clip that out and it sounds like I'm saying that. But leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist chat. So we have inside info tonight that shows you just how corrupt this is. Inside sources is all I'll say, directly connected to the individual that leaked these messages and know these people. Many of them have come to us saying, here's what really happened. And it all corroborates. And sometimes I'll say for legal reasons, I am not claiming that any of these statements are true. I am not saying they are facts. I am saying that people said they're true and that multiple people not connecting the same conversation agreed that this is what happened, okay? It's very important for legal reasons since we're dealing with the same kind of people that like to sue a lot of people. However, check this out. So we can read some of the chats later. Leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country are worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyways. They referred to black people, and you know this is unbiased because they've highlighted the B in black. Okay, so definitely you're talking about a very unbiased news outlet. Just remind you guys that the AP suggests in their guidelines that black is capitalized and white is not because, well, everyone knows that, when you encounter one of these people, they're always a little bit bigger and louder and, you always know that they're there.
They make themselves very known.
Very well known.
That's true.
So it's like, black! And you're like, whoa, just tip the waiter. Just try tipping. Anyway,
Shit.
they call black people monkeys and quote the watermelon people and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about graping their enemies and driving them to suicide. And then a lot of Republicans who they believed support slavery. William Hendricks, of Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the words the N-word and the N-word with a "ga," variations of a racial slur, more than a dozen times in the chat.
No.
I know.
He wouldn't.
I know. It's boys were messing around and using fun, naughty language.
Boys saying gamer words in private chats? This is absurd.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that there's this horrible person because he had sex with his wife.
No.
Yeah, I remember that one. I was like, do you know this guy has sex with his wife? Like,
No, I'm not familiar with this one.
Yeah,
we were in El Salvador.
Had sex with his wife.
Yeah, everyone was like freaking out. It was like, okay.
Is that not common over there?
Oh, okay. Now I gotcha.
Yeah, it was a scandal that a guy had.
The
Literally a
video
scandal
and
about a
stuff.
guy had sex
Okay,
with his wife. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
And?
Well, they tried to do that to the Indonesian prime minister years ago. Russia sent over a bunch of prostitutes to try to blackmail him. And he's like, no, just release the tapes. My citizens would be proud. And yet our GOP, to bad words, was like, we're so sorry. We condemn all of these hateful words and the bad slurs said 12 times over years.
Yeah. What I'm trying to understand here is it's kind of funny when you read it. Young Republicans at the time referred to grape as, quote, epic. Peter Giunta, who at the time was the chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. The reason why that's not insulting is because, that's assuming there ever was gas chambers that were killing people. And I hope there wasn't. I always tell people this. I hope there wasn't. They say there was. But also, not all gas chambers kill you. Because of my brother, when we were younger, he would close the door, turn on the heater, and he would let them rip. And it was a gas chamber itself.
It's more
I
of a
never
Dutch
died.
oven.
It's a Dutch oven.
Dutch
True.
oven, yeah, it's different.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
What were the
felt
doors made out of that your brother would lock
Had
you
to be
in?
wood. It's the only thing that keeps gas in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they know that. They
makes
know
sense.
that. I once wore a wooden suit into a Chernobyl reactor. Anyway, Giunta, or whatever it is, was referring to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair. And I'm going to create some of the greatest psychological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. And it goes down to, a lot of language about watching people burn. Can we fix the showers? Yada, yada. Okay, so we don't need to read much more. Let's just talk about this. The implications of this, there's a private chat log of young men, probably mostly white men, and Jewish men, probably combined. If it's New York, a lot of Jews and a lot of whites. Yeah. And they're just being, not what I was going to say. They're being hyperbolic. They're being exaggerative. They're being intentionally offensive. There's a thing that, with comedy where you're intentionally offensive because it's so ridiculous that it's not just like, oh, hey, I'm going to, cut your arm with a knife. It's like, yo, let's behead all of our enemies. And it's like just kind of a joke. And it's in a private chat. It's with your boys. A lot different than like speaking in front of an auditorium and saying, behead our enemies. Well, that could be like, oh, maybe you're calling for violence.
Yeah.
When you're just in your private chat, it's called context. Like I said, like, you know, if a married couple has sex in their bedroom, it's the same thing as having sex on a playground, except one, you become an offender. The other one is just called how we create more humans.
Yeah.
So like context of an act matters. And I think the fact this was a private group chat, we're going to discuss why they leaked, who tried to leak them, and the blackmail that was occurred to get these out there in the public. This was a very strategic, intentional, destructive ploy. But I don't know what you guys think. I think this is a nothing burger. I don't care. No one should have apologized.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything. It's just like you were saying when on if anybody goes on any of the game chats, you're going to hear things that are like 10 times worse. And it's just, yes, sometimes young men, boys being boys, have certain things that they say that others may find offensive. I don't think it's anything to ruin their future. I don't think it's anything to make such a big deal out of it. I mean, especially the Democrats say so much worse things. So I really don't think it's that bad. I mean, even recently, you told Braeden you were going to kill him when he was sleeping.
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah,
He came and woke me up and he was like, hey guys, or no, not guys. It was just us in the room. He was like, hey, Braeden, I'm going to kill you. And that's just sort of what we do.
so there's already a history of this,
You would think that these people were reacting to, Madonna at the March for Women saying that she wanted to kill the president or blow up the White House or whatever. You think that's what they were reacting to.
Yeah.
You think they were reacting to the thousands of people who publicly went online saying, I hope Trump is next, or I hope Stephen Miller's next, or whatever, to Charlie Kirk's assassination. You would think it was someone reacting to Jay Jones, the candidate for attorney general, going, I want to kill my opponent's children. Like I want to suffocate them and piss on his grave because they're fascists.
Wow.
Like you would
It's very
think
deep.
it was any of those things. Also, if anyone has a compilation, this is just like if anybody has a compilation of high-profile Democrats saying violent threats, could you DM it to me on X? Because I need more. Like I had a post today that blew up with people going, dude, that guy Jerry Rig Everything was like millions of subscribers on YouTube. I used to love his videos. Turns out he's just a pussy. He commented and he's like, wow, and which one of these guys are elected Democrat officials? And I'm like, you're just a retard, dude. Are you serious? That's your contention with this, is the fact that these people in a private chat are saying things that are unkind about people, and the people who are violently openly calling for violence against people. Like,
well, you have a lot of that
so
to call, especially
stupid.
during BLM. I mean, how many times did they call for people to take to the streets? How many times you had people like Maxine Waters and all these others who were just, promoting violence, saying, we're at war. So there's tons as far as violence goes, which always got flagged on Instagram for me. And I think, didn't they just have recently, it was like a senator or something that got in trouble for a text message? I forget the story.
So basically they're calling for our deaths, basically, and that they're not condemning that because it
that was Jay Jones.
Yeah, that's
right?
what
the
you're saying.
Attorney General for Virginia. Yeah, that was him, and he's still not stepping down. That was who's it? Winsome Sears is running against Abigail Spineberger, I think is her name. Spineberger. And she's like, will you openly condemn Jay Jones's actions? And she literally stood there like this while the girl's talking to her. She's like, will you condemn it? Will you condemn it? And she just didn't even react.
Yeah.
But yeah, if someone has that video, send it to me, please.
So it's almost like the text messages are related to a certain area that's pissing them off even more versus actually calls of violence and everything else. Dude. So I don't think that. I think there's just something in that language that is triggering them.
Half of those conversations happen at the dinner table with the family. Like you just say things. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Or they shouldn't. They shouldn't. And the people apologizing, oh man. The people going, we're so terribly sorry. How have you not learned after everything that's transpired over the past decade that apologizing is the worst possible thing that you can do in any situation? Because guess what? In about 48 hours, nobody will care anymore. Half of the people who are on this story are already off of it. They don't care. They posted it, they got their clicks, they got their ad revenue, and now they're talking about Big Balls' attacker being dropped. Like, they just move on to the next thing because nobody cares. Why are we apologizing over nothing?
And when you apologize, it's 10 times worse. Then you have all the articles coming out like, oh, they knew what they did was wrong. They knew that they shouldn't have done this. And then they keep pushing the narrative more and more and more. So versus just saying, hey, listen, I'm not putting up with this shit. And then once you get past the whole cancel culture part, I mean, you pretty much become almost bulletproof afterwards.
Right. Well, here's what allegedly happened. So I spoke with some individuals in and around the situation. And I'd like to say if Gavin Wax, Nathan Berger, and Alex Zeke would like to come on the show and explain how this is false, then I would totally openly invite you to come on and tell me that, people are lying, because, people in this industry sometimes do lie, and sometimes they have reasons why they like to slam people. So just like, you guys are being accused of slamming people, I don't want to do the same thing back to you. So if this is false info, say this is just what I've heard. And if it's untrue, then please let me know. We'll issue a correction or just a clarification, I should say, since we're not making any solid claims. And you're welcome to come on the show on Friday or, release a comment, and we'd love to hear your side of the story. So what I heard is that this is about pettiness, which is crazy in the Republican Party. Gavin Wax has been on this show. I've liked Gavin Wax forever. I still don't have anything against him personally until I can verify, right? No one can really verify. Yeah. However, people, in and around this social circle were saying that for a while he was boasting about how he got these, obtained these logs, this internal logs to sort of pressure campaign individuals. We'll withhold the word blackmail for legal reasons, but to go after a certain individual who was in the chat. I don't know if we have the important part, which is the guy that was released in here. It's the main guy he was going after that they keep spreading around, which is that fat guy. And
that dude.
The
master race.
Correct. The master race guy who is the main guy that he was going after. We'll see if we can find it. But it's the main guy that's going around the internet. And he's very fat, looks very Jewish, which is no problem with that, and is supposed to be the master race guy. That's the guy who said, I love Hitler, right? That's the guy. And this is what the whole thing's about. That's why it's in the title. It's about this one guy. Now, I didn't know anything about this guy. I just know that was the target. It was like what was going around today. It was like, that's the guy. He's exposed. That's him. And you're like, well, I don't know what that means. However, it turns out something important. So that guy, or at least someone near him, there was a gala or a dinner that was going on with the Young Republicans. And basically, Gavin Wax, allegedly wanted a picture with Trump. And with Judas, the price of betrayal was 30 shekels of silver. Now, these sources said that Gavin Wax told the organizer that he wasn't going to be there. So they didn't get the picture. He didn't get signed up for a picture with Trump. He wanted this picture. This gets even crazier. So then what happened is that he told the organizer, actually, I'm going to be at the dinner. And the organizer told him, dude, these pictures were pre-booked. You can't get the picture. And he got really furious about this. Still ended up getting a picture, but had like a vendetta against this guy for telling him he couldn't have a picture with Trump. And apparently this is what started everything. It was all over a picture with Trump.
A petty grudge.
Correct.
A petty grudge led to this.
This entire industry is full of that.
Who could do such a thing? Who could do such a thing? Gavin Wax, more like Gavin Soap.
He lost me on that one.
You should read the chat. You should read the chat.
You should say more like Gavin Wax, more like Gavin Collect Tax.
That also works.
No, okay. And by the way, Gavin, because these people always see it, I'm not even saying anything negative about you. I have to report what was being said. I have to report missing details. And I'll probably see you soon. You're welcome to come on the show. I'll remind you guys as well that we do not on this show release private information about people. We also don't release people's personal drama unless the only time we cover drama is when they intentionally publicize it themselves. So if something got released about Gavin Wax that was private that he didn't want out, we wouldn't cover it. If Gavin Wax releases info publicly and gets it to Politico and puts it all out there, well, we'll cover it. Just more when drama becomes the news, that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many things I always have to say for like legal protections on this show. It's crazy.
Well, this story's only taken off because the No Kings protest is on Saturday, right? They're
Really?
trying to, the next No Kings thing is this Saturday, so
really?
they're trying to ramp it up. Like, look, No Kings, us versus I Love Hitler political Republicans
really?
or whatever.
I should
it's
go.
this Saturday. I'd be down.
Last
We
time
can go
we
make
went to
some
one of
Last
the
time was a
tents.
riot. Yeah. Last time
it was
we
a
turned into
riot, right?
The one I went to, there was no one there.
Man, is there going to be a riot in LA again?
We got-
I'm gonna call. Hey, Joey, can you write a note down to talk to some individuals about making sure that I get that? Okay, so
We can do
before
Miami,
we
too.
talk about there'll be no riot in Miami. There's no riots in Florida.
Fair.
It's true. We have rules against rioting here. There's laws. But before we talk about that, guys, I want to remind you something very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to announce, before I explain to you how this got leaked and what happened, my very enthusiastic endorsement of Blackout Coffee, which is a coffee company that embodies the heart of American values. This family-owned business began 7 years ago in a humble garage, and today they've earned over 32,000 five-star reviews from their premium bold coffee. Blackout Coffee isn't just about exceptional taste. They're staunch supporters of the Second Amendment, standing firm for our freedoms. And for 10 seconds, allow me to share my personal take. I've sampled their coffee, and it's outstanding, rich, smooth, and crafted by good people who share our commitment to what makes this nation great. It's my go-to brew to fuel the day. And if you're ready to support a company that delivers quality and principle, visit blackoutcoffee.com/rift. That's BLACKOUTCOFFEE.com/RIFT and use code RIFT for 20% off your first order. That's blackoutcoffee.com/rift. Join me in choosing coffee that stands for something. Get yours today. I recommend the light roast, which my good friend here, Braeden Sorbo, who I'm not gonna kill. Go switch to him. Go switch to him.
me.
Switch to him.
I can't hold it for much longer.
there you go.
There we go.
All right.
Golly, that hurt.
It's a new producer. Watch the multi-view and then just like it is a skill. You got to watch.
Yeah.
The
Shout out to
multi-view.
Joey.
Well, you got to watch the multi-view to know where to go, and it's hard. It's hard to learn how to do that.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. All right. So if you're joining us here, just make sure to like the video, subscribe, and know several things that what the hell, an error occurred here on our YouTube. Are you still on YouTube? Let me see.
I'm opening it right now.
No, we are not on. We are not live.
Shows live for me
Okay.
on YouTube.
On YouTube?
I just
I
pulled
don't
it up
know.
on my phone. I see
Okay.
it right here.
That's good. So
Okay.
here's what happens. If you're just joining us, if you're just joining us, we have new inside info on how this
down.
chat got leaked. It's off.
Yeah,
So
YouTube.
people in chat are going, stream isn't loading now.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's the decoder's not connected. That's the issue. And I don't know if on Rumble, are we there? Are we live on Rumble still? One's in the chat. I don't think we are. That's gonna be kind of yes. We are live on Rumble.
YouTube crashed.
We are
though.
not
Yeah,
live
yeah.
on here. That is a thing that we need to fix that only Mike Mendoza would be able to fix us, and he's remote, so he can do that remote to fix the stream. But since we're on Rumble, I'm going to keep going here. So essentially, what happened is so we're talking about this story here. If you could bring it up on the screen while we're talking about this, it's fantastic.
We're
So-
reloaded. We're good.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. So what happened is so he didn't get this picture with Trump, and this is not the pettiest thing that I've heard. Just to remind you, I was sued for inviting a guest on my show back at Blaze, who gave my co-host like vertigo or something like that, and like made them cry or something. I got sued. I also got sued for being tall one time by a female. They said I used to use my height to intimidate her. I am not joking. I am not. I thought about releasing the depositions on some of these lawsuits one day. I'll wait till my NDA is done, but it's like it's just funny, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So people have done more for less. So apparently, in the midst of all this, where is Gavin now? Well, apparently Gavin's in D.C., but he gave himself an honorary title before he left.
Oh, how nice.
In the New York Young Republicans Club, which is like not stuff you're gonna find on the internet. It's only here. He gave himself an honorary title so that he could stay in the communications, like in the emails and the chat, so he could kind of stay in.
So you can
Okay?
monitor.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he could try to expose people. Apparently, this is what I'm hearing. This is all what I'm hearing. I'm gonna keep saying that.
So
This is all
alleged.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
It's just from sources, not even alleged. It's what the sources are saying happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if it did. And I like Gavin. Gavin, if I see you, this isn't meant to tear you down. This is just to expose how things got exposed. So basically, he knew about these messages and he wanted to obtain these messages, and several people did. And it seems like this was over something petty, over like not like just kind of like, you know, you're not more powerful than me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And so they basically went to this guy. Let me see if I can find his name. His name is Mike Bartell. So they go to this guy, Mike Bartell, and they claim that they're going to like end his career for some other reason. He's like this goofy asexual Roman Catholic guy. And they came to him, Mike Bartell, one of these people, Alex Zeke, Nathan Berger, or Gavin Wax, or all three of them, allegedly came to this guy and told him basically that they had dirt on him that would end his career. Like they fake blackmailed him. And I mean, that's what I'm hearing from these people, but you know, who knows if that's what happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
However, with as much legal language as I can include in this story, to just say that I'm just repeating what I hear, he's so goofy that he caved under pressure, and we'll see this. You know, I know some people recently who have, you know, there's been pressure and they almost caved, right? People come to me all the time, and they're like, I know you had sex with this person, and it's like, Braeden Sorbo, yes. You know what I mean?
I feel like we're pretty open about
Pretty
that.
open about
You know
it.
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
guys don't hide it.
Correct.
No.
So
He sits, he watches, everyone's aware. You know?
you're giving more details than they need.
It's terrible.
But apparently they came to him and they were basically saying that they needed to obtain these chats. There's a few people they obtained the chats from.
Yeah.
So there was like very sketchy stuff going on. Now, what does the New York Young Republicans Club think about this? The person that's, you know, heavily connected is like leaking internal chats and is like destroying their own club.
He's like trying to burn it down.
Correct.
terrible.
There's massive discontent in the club, and they have massive wishes against this on what's going on. And so what to summarize the story, and this hasn't been released anywhere, this seems like and then what happened was they're saying that Gavin didn't think about the collateral damage. Like he didn't think about all the people that would get fired. He didn't put any of that stuff in mind. He just went out to get revenge or a vendetta against somebody.
And like the one dude who denied him the photo, but
Correct.
then gave him the photo.
Or someone connected to that. I don't know exactly what role they play because
Yeah.
I didn't ask that question. I should have asked that question, but apparently he freaked out, wanted to get back at him for not getting the photo, and then instead ruined a bunch of people's lives and careers over naughty words, but also still connected to the club, and the club is really, really mad at him. And the people in the club are mad, hence why people are talking. And I think this just brings up a discussion that I want to talk about is, I'll reiterate what I said at the beginning, is that if this is untrue, Gavin or Zeke or Berger, we're welcome to come on the show and tell us that people are lying and clarify what happened.
Yeah.
It's totally fine, because they could be. But if this is what happened, all I'm just going to say, this is like not a very nice thing to do to people. Like this is a kind of like a, it reminds you, and I've experienced this. It's believable because you've been working in this industry long enough time, so have you. People do act like this.
Yeah.
People do
Petty.
People do really, really petty things. Like you'll disagree with somebody, like over a political stance, then they'll like blackmail your friend, like an ex-girlfriend, and get your nudes and leak them on the internet. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? You psychopath, you insane person. What is wrong with you? And you can see, I'm using so much legal language. By the way, Alex Jones, this is what I was saying. You can say the truth when you have PTSD from being sued so many times. Just constantly put identifiers.
Like
Constantly,
allegedly,
allegedly,
you know?
people are saying, just constantly say that so they can't get you on any sentence telling what you heard. But make sure you do put those qualifiers, because people will sue you and they will come after you. And the amount of legal threats I've been getting recently is intensified. And I'll just let you know, I Gavin and a lot of these people, they're all from Connecticut. Okay? People from Connecticut in the Northeast are very much into suing people.
Very litigious.
Yeah.
Very litigious
I think
people.
Boca Raton fits
As
more,
litigious
but
as Boca Raton, or no?
that's what he's hinting towards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now that I know more info, like it's a picture that you're saying that may have caused this. I was thinking it was more going against Israel is really the comments that were coming out, and they weren't fans of it, especially them all being from Boca Raton. So
Well, I could say that, yes, it's probably why people worked on it. Maybe that's why Nathan Berger was involved in this.
yeah,
But I don't know if that's. I don't know. So
I'm just guessing.
I don't know who any of these people are, and I have nothing against them. But it just seems like there was like a lot of petty stuff going on here, and people were attacking each other. And I don't get it. I don't get why we do this. You know. But this is from my investigation what happened. Maybe someone else has a different investigation of what happened. And I'm not trying to start a war with anyone. This is just like, hey, some people went to war in their own club. There was a discontent. There was a problem. However, if this was about something different, I'd like to know. Because if this was all completely a lie, fabricated by people, then if that's possible, then I want to know and I want to correct the
absolutely.
record.
Yeah.
But I just think it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to know. I want to go with what Matt Walsh said. Let me see real fast.
Want me to
Yeah.
highlight it?
So here it is. Look, so AF Post said New York Republicans Club President Gavin Wax extorted Mike Bartels to turn over the Telegram messages to him, and Wax leaked in Politico. That's why I am telling you guys why we believe he was extorted, right? So I'm not the only one reporting this. That's why it seems to be verified. It's through multiple sources. However, I also want to bring this up as well. The New York Young Republicans Club issued a statement here. The New York Young Republicans Club forcefully condemns messages reported by Politico to have been shared by New York State Young Republicans A Political notes an article that New York Young Republicans Club is a separate city-based group that is at odds with the state organization. Today, we stand at the starker odds than ever with the prior leadership team. Neither Peter Giunta or whatever, nor Bobby Walker have ever held any leadership position in New York Young Republican Club. And, yeah. So I was also told that there's a bunch of people running cover for Gavin now, trying to clarify several people. And I know them all, so I'm not going to call them out because I don't want to throw my friends under the bus.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do to them, but
they're doing other
but
people.
maybe what they're doing to other people, right? So I'm never going to leak my friends' private info. I'll never leak their chats. I'll never show their DMs. I'll never share their private pictures that maybe they send or whatever, you know. I had a friend who sent me a video of himself getting a blowjob on a private jet. That was crazy.
Yeah. How did even Mendoza get on the plane?
That's true.
I was trying
And
to
Braeden,
figure
I
that
didn't even know
out.
you had a plane.
I was waiting to surprise you guys for
I didn't
something
even know.
important. You know?
Damn.
No, but I was
Take
just
a
like, I
trip.
remember like I just opened my phone and it's like, wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just, thanks for saying, I don't know, thank you or what? Hi.
No warning is crazy, especially if you open it in front of people.
I was in front of people.
Oh,
yeah.
good. That's nice.
Yep. Yeah. So it was definitely odd, but I was just like, whoa, this guy's got to be really drunk. That's only you only do that when you're like wasted, you
Yeah.
know. And then you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I sent videos of myself getting a blowjob to people. And it's like, you did. Yeah, you did. That's not good. But
So you better
did.
be nice to us for a really long time now.
Yeah, I'm not like that. Actually, like
No,
sometimes.
he hearted it.
No, sometimes I laugh because I just like know I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna have so much like anxiety in the morning. You know,
What?
it's like, ah!
Yeah.
You know, you wake up when you're so drunk, and you wake up, you're just like, what the? Oh. And then you're like, man, I don't remember going to bed last night. You look at your phone, you're like, it's a good thing I didn't do anything crazy last night. And it's like, I sent 31 people a video of me getting a blowjob. I sent my ex that video. It's like, oh man, the person in the jet was me. That was a true story, by the way. But I also and then literally, I'm not joking about you. Like 2 days later, I decided to just message this guy back, and I was like, hey, wild weekend, eh? And he's like, I am completely sober now. I've found God. I'm never drinking another day in my life. And I was like, all right, buddy.
Maybe the other person did too. That's why they're on their knees.
Yeah.
That's
No, but it was like it's like you know when you have like
Golly.
Just saying.
that's
Just
what I was
saying.
gonna say about the God thing. You don't want to wait till that happens for you to just start realizing
Yeah.
that you need God. You want to sort of just like don't test God.
Imagine giving that testimony. You know, a lot of
not-
people are like, I got lost.
What do you mean? That's
struggled
Nala
with
Ray.
this. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Nala Ray's
that's
entire
true.
testimony is I love to cheat on my boyfriends, and now I'm a godly woman. Let me teach you how to be a good wife.
Let me stand in front of the church
Which
and
is
tell my story.
Which is crazy. If you're a new convert, just
I'm
sit
still
out. Just sit down.
so YouTube is still down for me.
YouTube seemed to be working for me.
Nope, YouTube is still down. For me, this is like
Mike said that we haven't been down yet.
I'm
don't know.
confused. Okay,
I
I'll
don't
re-go.
know.
I'm not.
It's weird. If I don't refresh, it still works for me. So long as I don't leave the page, it'll work.
Let me see.
Mine's
Before I
still
make a
showing up.
comment,
You know, mine's showing up, but if I refresh, there's a chance that it goes down.
He's actually typing because he's in that group chat.
We all.
that's fine as long as we're not.
One thing I'll say though is like, you know, I hate a lot of what the Democrats do. And there's things on the right that don't make me happy as well. But the left does well staying together. You know, the right, it's all this infighting. It's all throw everybody under the bus, you know, try to capitalize on situations. And it's not getting us anywhere. It's really not helping us.
No, and it's unfortunate because leftists are slowly starting to eat their own now because it's like, oh, well, you're not pro, you know, this enough.
Mhm.
Like they used to vilify and attack people who weren't pro-Palestine enough or weren't pro, you know, whatever.
Well, we see that
agenda.
now. If you're not pro-Israel enough, then, you know, the MAGA groupies will end up getting furious and then they'll use that against you.
Yeah, but even with that, I mean, it's like, okay, the right will eat each other alive and keep each other out, but the left they'll disavow you for a little while and then they'll let them back in.
Yeah.
They're just like, I hope you had a good time in timeout. Are you going to behave
No,
now?
they just lie.
Yeah.
That's what they lie. Like you'd be like, yo, Jerry Nadler got caught picking his nose, and like that's an innocent thing. I'll be like, Jerry Nadler doesn't even have fingers. That's ridiculous. It's like that's what they do. It's like
It's true.
You're like, wait, what? Come on. Anyways, I'm tired of Nazis asking questions. Get him, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
wait, what? And it's like that's literally how they work. They just gaslight and move on. And I just
Gaslight,
wish,
girl boss, gatekeep.
yeah, exactly. All right. Anyways, about that info, I'd love to know in the chat, you know, if there's anybody here that that knows, if anybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's insane that there's a lot of this infighting. Now, it makes me sad because Matt Walsh brought this up. Matt Walsh had something to say about this, and he said this. If you actually... What's going on here? If you
I think
actually...
he's showing you YouTube's working.
Okay, can we go to the tweet real fast first? It's more important. If you know, that's fine. It's not working on my computer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We have really low viewership, and it's not working on my computer, so I would imagine it's not working on a bunch of people's computers.
Let's go back to Matt Walsh.
Yeah. If you actually read the Politico hit piece, you'll see that many of the messages are being taken widely out of context. For example, the guy who said "I love Hitler" was clearly being sarcastic. It's explicitly meant to be a sarcastic joke. And yet Politico put the quote in headlines of the article, and conservatives are lining up to offer denunciations. How in the hell is anyone on the right still falling for this trick? How have you not learned by now to take absolutely nothing from the leftist media at face value, especially if it's a blatant political hit piece? But the most important thing that he stated down here, if we can go down to it, let's see. There's a point where he really brings up. Well, we'll talk about that. There's another place down here where he talks about the hit piece. I'm not going to find it right now, but he says, right here. The right doesn't stick together. That's our biggest problem by far. Conservatives are quick to denounce each other, jump on dog piles, disavow, attack their allies. I said a few weeks ago that we all need to band together in the wake of Charlie's death. And the answer I got back from a lot of people on the right was basically no. Well, okay then, guys, we'll just lose instead. The left will keep up the united front and defend their guys no matter what, while we keep throwing each other to the wolves at every opportunity. Great plan. He also said if you're a conservative and you have a problem with someone on the right, you can reach out to them privately and express your concerns. Performatively attacking and denouncing your own people in public is a bitch move. So that's the question as we end this topic here. That's to say that there is no right wing. I've said this for the last 10 years. There's no right wing. There's just a right wing op. They call it like a steam valve. Mm-hmm. They give us like the idea that we have a party, but it's really just another Zionist Bolshevik tool that gatekeeps. Like if you really want to espouse right wing values, shoot. Peter Thiel boasted that Peter Thiel, who controlled, we're supposed to believe he just started J.D. Vance's career and has no power in his life, but somehow got hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts immediately within Trump getting into power. Peter Thiel said that he uses this technology to prevent the actual right wing from forming in Europe, yet he starts Vance into our country. We're supposed to think Vance is like, this populist guy, and he loves, the broken white man who can't get a job, even though his kid's name is Vivek,
Kudos, I will say, I'll do a caveat. Kudos to Vance for being like, stop bitching and moaning about this with the Post. Vance did defend it by going after the Jay Jones thing. So I will give him credit for that, but I agree.
I didn't say, so Matt works for the Valve releasers. Okay. So Matt is the Valve releasers I'm talking about. I like Matt a lot, but like they give us a Matt, but we all can see the constraints they have on him.
Yeah.
So
he works for Daily Wire.
Correct.
Yeah.
They also
So
call it
there's
the
only
Daily
so
Wire.
much. Yeah. There's only so much he can do. But you're right. They only give us a little bit. We'll either a soundbite, especially our politicians. They love that. Every time that they have like any kind of hearings, it's like, oh man, we're finally going to do it, guys. We've caught, lock Fauci up or whatever it may be, and they make up all these things and they're like, this is the moment, but nothing ever happens. It just comes down to the best soundbite. It's as you said, they're just releasing the valve, and the same thing happens with the little victories we have. They're not major victories that we need, but it's just little victories here and there. So this way we feel like, something's being done when it's not.
Yeah, no, I know. And I kind of want to go on to that to talk about some of this, why that's there. Steven Crowder weighed in and said, lastly, his opinion on this. Here's what Crowder had to say.
I want you to remember this. Some private group texts where they made jokes about Indians smelling funny. Oh, where'd they get that? This is what they did, by the way, with Proud Boys. And I will say, this is what they did with January 6th. If they repeat it enough, you go, oh my gosh, that's right, January 6th. Oh my gosh, this is a white supremacist symbol. Oh my gosh, the Proud Boys. Right now saying the president can't say very fine people on both sides. They'll never tell you, by the way, that he condemned neo-Nazis and actual white supremacists. They're kind of folding it into their previous lie, trying to make you believe that kids joking around in a private group text are also white supremacists who should be condemned. Who, by the way, Donald Trump did condemn. I know it's
I just don't know why we're still condemning. Like, well, Donald Trump did condemn the white supremacists. And you know what, dude? It's like this. It's like whenever you make a mistake in life, just don't tell women, okay? Just don't tell them. Don't tell them your mistakes. Guys, you are such losers if you talk to women about your problems. You are such a loser. You are so pathetic. I am not joking. Because you know what it is? They don't care. Women don't care about your problems. They don't actually care. They care about themselves and care that you care about them. And they go, I really want to care. It's a gaslighting move that they use in the life. I care, because they want leverage on you. Even it's like, no, my wife, my girlfriend, my one's different. Yeah, my horse is actually a unicorn. It's like, oh, cool. That's cool. You're ignorant. They use it like, the more that you share with them, it's called shit testing, and women do this. They want to see how much you're a bitch, and they want to see how much you're willing to just, talk to them. This is why why do girlfriends do it a lot, but then wives don't as much? Because the only time wives do it is when you gave in as a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Once you don't tell them like you're not gonna know stuff and you don't know it, they stop trying to get it out of you very often. But what they're trying to do is, number one, they want leverage about your friends, and they're trying to figure out stuff about your friends to know who you are. So if they can figure out stuff that your friends are doing, then it gives them an insight into you. It's all about understanding what you're up to. And then when they ask you about your life and what's going on in your life and how you're frustrated, I'll occasionally talk, once a week or something that shares something. But it's like what happens is then they'll start wanting you to run your life around their schedule. And they'll start being like, well, I have this to go to. And, I have a dance recital and I have this. And, you need to pick me up at this time. And you're thinking, I'm a servant. I'm serving women. There's like the evangelical version, like be a servant master. And it's like, you're a servant, but really what happens is that they're usurping authority and they're wearing the pants. Now, if you wear the pants in the relationship, that doesn't mean you're going to avoid divorce. That doesn't mean that your relationship's going to survive. That doesn't mean anything, because quite frankly, there's a lot of other factors that go into things than just wearing the pants in the relationship. There's a lot that goes into it. I mean, someone shoots your wife or your husband in the neck, your marriage ends too, but it's not necessarily avoidable. So there's a lot of like in-laws play a big part. Money, financial problems play a big part. There's a lot of things that play a big role in women not respecting you, but the biggest thing that matters is that women show you respect. And I'm telling you this right now, like all of this, like, behavior, that this is all very feminine stuff, apologizing for your behavior, but also just don't tell women. And if an article comes out, think of the public like a woman. They're not going to forgive you. They're never going to forget.
Bring it up
and
3 years
bring it
later
up for the rest of your life. The public is feminine. It's feminine.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's like, that's what I mean. So don't apologize, don't admit, and don't say anything. Yeah. Just, you know what? If you're going to admit, if you sin gravely against your spouse, go to a priest or go to someone, and not one of those priests that's going to go talk. Go to someone who's going to help you reconcile with God and figure it out. And if they recommend that you're supposed to talk to your wife, probably they're wrong. They're probably wrong. They're probably wrong. I have never met a man.
Thoughts, Braeden?
I have never met a man who hasn't regretted telling women things, right? It's like, why did I tell him that? You should have just moved on with your life. And I'm gonna tell you this, in your life, if you're married or you're in a relationship, if you're dating, and you feel like you've done something, that if you tell your wife that they're gonna get divorced or you're gonna have to break up or it's gonna cause drama with the in-laws or anything like that, just go break up with them and don't tell them. Or divorce them and don't tell them. I'm not joking.
Divorce is preferable to not saying
unless
anything.
Unless there's kids involved, then probably don't get divorced. But especially if you're dating, and I've seen a lot of people that are dating, and they'll tell them the same thing, like, get out. Just go. Get out.
You messed this one up. Leave now.
You need to leave. You screwed up.
You broke it.
Yeah,
It's
you're done. You messed it up.
Honestly, that is valid depending on the situation. Like if the
don't tell her
guy
and
does
go.
something that is just irreparable, there's no way to recover from it. It is just better to get out. Like if you know what I mean.
You love her. You care. Go.
Like you care for her. You did something that's never going to be able to move past, never going to be forgiven or whatever. Don't cause the trauma to her. She doesn't deserve it. Just
girls
get out.
by the way, I want to tell you this. If girls do something against you that's irreparable, they'll never tell you. And guys are like, because guys feel guilty and girls don't. And girls would never tell. Guys always, if you look at like scandals and things and breakups and stuff, I've looked this up. And when the girl's done something wrong, it's because the guy figures it out.
Yeah.
And in majority of times with girls, the guy tells them.
Yeah, the guy will say, and then that's why you have so many videos. And I'll do a caveat there that it's modern women. Because I don't think that my grandma,
Post-feminist.
I don't think my grandma was doing evil things behind my grandpa's
this isn't
back.
women in general. This is modern women.
This is
modern culture.
The modern culture of the world. So there are still some cultures,
American,
very few,
Western,
for
yeah,
sure.
Because you go to other countries, it's not like this.
Exactly, and so it's this idea of of shit testing. That's basically the best way to put it. Like you said, it's this. I mean, my buddy's now wife did it when they were dating, and she could have been intentional. She could have not. I haven't.
Did what? Cheat or
No. She had a friend group, and in the friend group was a guy who liked her. And here's the thing. Here's where I carve out a little bit, because women are just oblivious with a lot of things, and that's not a dig at them or whatever. People just
We
are
should just start saying
oblivious.
modern Western women.
Modern
I
Western
feel like
women.
because they do lose.
they're the worst. They got whoflation.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother thing.
because you do travel to other countries and you
Yeah.
go, oh, I forgot women used to be lovely.
Yeah.
you
Used to be nice and sweet and kind.
Like people can serve you at a restaurant without expecting a tip. Like
Yeah.
there's like actual hospitality, or like you go down to the South and you get hospitality and you go, wow, it's not just some weeded out black guy like hand to you, or like some like Indian that's just like texting on his phone, like handing you your drink. It's like howdy, how you doing today? You're like, oh, there used to be like
There's
society.
Yeah.
Like society, there used to be something to live for and like operate around.
Yeah, I see that when
you
I
know?
leave the U.S. When I go to other countries, we see
or
that.
like in the actual deep South.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
go in like Alabama.
Well, you get little pockets. You get pockets of like good
I was in
women.
Mississippi and it was like, and it was like not flirting, not at all, but like there's like two young girls that worked at the coffee shop and talking to me about, they want to know about Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, and they're just interested and they're like, well, howdy, and oh yeah, well, I don't know about that. And then you look at them and I'm not, you don't even want to sexualize them. They look like they're virgins. Like they're like very homely, normal looking girls, have extensions and injections, and you're like,
They're not doing things for
oh.
approval.
They're not trying to get you to have sexual attention. They're not begging for sexual attention, and they're also like, you could tell they have good dads. You can tell they have like
Come from
a
good
father.
families.
That's it. It's like the women who have good dads are typically much better in relationships. It's like my girlfriend bakes cookies for me to bring to you guys in the studio. You know what I mean? Like that's a girl who has a good relationship with her dad because she's just hanging out. She's just here to be nice and friendly and all that stuff. Like that's fantastic. But then you get girls, the modernized, westernized American girls who will do that to you. And my friend's now wife unintentionally did it. She just thought the guy was being friendly. He's like, nope, he's this. And she goes, oh, well, I don't see a problem with it. He was like, all right, cool. So I'll just drop you back off then. That was the shit test. That was it. Whether it was intentional or not, he passed, right? He didn't fail. And now they're married and she's carrying his second baby and everything is phenomenal with their relationship. Like, it's like, if you set the boundary, then that boundary won't be crossed, or you'll be hard pressed to find someone who will try to cross it more than a few times.
You got to set that in the beginning.
Exactly.
You can't wait in a relationship and then pull it out.
No.
You have to set
if
the
it's not
groundwork.
the initial groundwork, then there will always be resistance against it. That's
Yeah.
the curse of Eve. Is she will always have the desire to be over her husband. Well, the husband's desire is to toil, not desire, but his curse is to work in the fields. And so unless you set that groundwork to begin with, you're going to be hard pressed.
Just also note too, all this advice, I'm just telling you from experience, from what I've seen, and I know for a fact, I have a lot of family, and I have a lot of friends that I know, acquaintances, not like close. I don't really have many close friends, and I'm on the internet and I see trends and creators and people, you don't want to go fully towards the red pill in the way that you behave towards women, because then you're treating them like objects.
Yeah, no, you don't want that.
And then that's being too based. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you don't want you want to treat them like creatures of God. They were made by God, and they were made from man, basically from your image, and your image is from God. And so, there's a sanctity there. But you also got to know too that just like the devil is cunning, that the devil got to the woman first, and the woman got to the man. The devil didn't need to go to the man; he used a woman to get the man to go towards the devil. And the devil, and there's a lot of verses we got to avoid the adulterous woman. You've got to avoid. There's not a lot of verses in the Bible about women avoiding the adulterous man. It's like, hey, women are pulling you in. They're luring you in through their sexuality. They're trying to get you to look. They're not walking around in Lululemons because they're comfortable. It's like they'll say that.
I am.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother story. They say that, but they care about attention.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that there's this place that I visit. There's this one like alternative girl that's crazy looking that has a dog that thinks that I'm just nice to her. She thinks I'm flirting with her, but I'm just nice to people. I'm just like, oh, hey, what's your dog's name?
Yeah, being nice is flirting in America today.
Correct.
Oh,
And
no, it is.
And
Yeah.
I'm nice to one of the people. I'm nice to one of the people that work there too. And then like the one that works there is like telling me someplace I hang out. It's like telling me like her life story, or whatever. She's like just like a tender or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, go to this other one, like talk to the dog. And then it's like, hey, I wasn't done talking to you. Like me, just walk over to like some random nice stranger to say hi to their dog, and this person who I'm also not flirting with is like, wait, you were giving me attention. And so even if it's not sexual, even if it's not like that dynamic,
Yeah.
they're craving attention from men. And it's like, and then also when they say that we look cute for ourselves, what they're really saying is we want attention from men and we're competing sexually with each other. The amount of sex, if men even could know, if men understood, and I've looked into it, the amount of sexual competitiveness that women have towards each other, it's insane. It must be diabolically. Like, look at that. What was that?
What
came up?
Trump with an Israel flag?
All right, let's move on. to this. Let's move on.
But you go to the gym and it's like they're competing to see who can wear the least amount of clothes. That's true. And I like how there are people in the comments going, well, my mom's base. And it's like, that's great. How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast today? It's like, that doesn't make the generalization untrue. You know what I mean? It's just so stupid.
No, yeah, and I love it. Also, by the way, somebody doesn't realize this on Rumble. People don't know how Rumble views work. When they move you into a spot, like from like 4th to 3rd, they like combine, like raid like viewers that are still on the other live stream into your live stream. That's why the numbers go up and down really quickly. Because then they're exiting out. It's a very confusing they do. So it's like not real. Like it's like if you go in and it's like it automatically goes from like 1,000 like 2,500 in a second, then also starts like going down. That's because like it's an error thing that they have. It's not real. So
Here I thought we were actually doing a good job.
Damn it.
yeah.
Guess that's not happening. That's shit.
Yeah, you know when you're getting a female talk from a guy named Elijah Schaefer from LA, it's probably not a good time in history. All right, let's go into a deep dive a little bit on Trump. We're gonna talk a little bit about Sheldon Adelson, the dark money that Trump's taking in and what's going on there. So everybody saw Trump in the Knesset in Jerusalem talking to the Israelis. And our favorite Israeli, Ben Shapiro, who was there.
Oh, good.
Very good. Ben Shapiro is not loyal to America for any other reason than we support Israel financially.
Yeah.
Super
He has
based of
said
him.
that himself. That is not the kind of people you want to be in a foxhole with.
No.
However,
Plus his voice would drive me nuts.
Well,
I
you
would.
if you really want to support Israel, you can buy my sheets for $29.95. Bands and bull. Get your injections today. Okay.
I'd rather run across dead man's land or no man, whatever, than deal with that.
Yeah, oh man. We all used to listen to Ben Shapiro at one point, didn't we all?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
We
I had a
all,
phase
we all
back in
used
the
to be
day.
Zionists.
I had a phase
listen
when I
to
was
Ben.
like 16, 17 years old.
The Zionist Ben watcher to Nick Fuentes pipeline is real for a lot of people.
Oh my gosh. So real. You know, Nick got a show back on Spotify?
Yeah, I seen that.
Really?
It was up for
Yep.
24 hours. It became the #1 show on Spotify past Joe Rogan, and they took it down.
Yeah, of course.
This morning.
Oh, it became #1.
It became
I didn't know
#1,
that.
and then they zucked it.
Oh man.
Of course. And that's why they went on Rumble, because Rumble's the hardest platform to get views on. And like even then, like, you know, like if he was on YouTube, the guy would be getting like 5 or 6 million views an episode.
Oh yeah.
But also
He'd be
that's why they
making
don't.
so much.
By the way, that's why they censor. Like we're gonna listen to this. The reason why they censor is because what you hear, you think about, and what you think about, you talk. Not me now, but like I was reading in scripture today. We're gonna talk about this thing here. This was the first day in a long time, in a very long time, that I can remember that like I woke up. I didn't look at my phone. I put on some like instrumental music, which is very, for anyone who has like what they call ADHD, I don't know if that's real, but like that, you know, it's nice to have some music in the background when you read, like some calm music to kind of like counter the bind. Put it on, open up my new Bible, which I cannot believe I bought one. It's been years and years and years since I've bought a
What'd you
Bible.
get?
The Orthodox Study Bible.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, so I buy it, I open up, not doing anything deep, just reading Psalms, you know, 88, 89, not like a huge, tough reading. And I'm going to tell you that people are not lying when they say when you start your day not on X, when you start your day not on these things, when you start your day like calming your brain down, reading the Bible, and praying, it cleans your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I've had an insanely stressful day today. Insane. People's money got messed up, and I had to fix it. And that's never good when people's money gets messed up. They don't like you, and they don't like when that happens. So I had a lot of people who didn't like me today, and I think we're fine now. However, I usually freak out in those situations, but instead I was just able to get through it. I can't tell you why, but this is why it's important. We're talking about the dangers of following Judaism and Israeli superiority. This is a way towards hell, okay? And you don't want to go there. But also, don't just be a Jew hater or an anti, Zionist. That's not what we're living for as humans here. We're living for God, and we're living for truth. And we oppose things because it's, untrue. But also remember that sometimes topics like this can take over your heart and mind. You become obsessive, and then you're full of anger and malice and rage, and God doesn't intend for you to live like that, okay? So It's okay to oppose evil. We want to oppose evil, but don't become a weirdo in the process. It's just true. But if you're in a group chat as young Republicans and you want to be crazy and talk insane, I don't condemn you. Okay? I don't condemn you. Have fun. Anyway, listen to this.
But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say.
All right.
But I actually asked her.
So one of the main things, so we're going to talk about this. So Miriam Adelson is the husband of Sheldon Adelson, who, by the way, is one of the richest people in America with a personal net worth of over $60 billion. She says it's up there, above that. And everybody knows that, legally or publicly, they gave $100 million to Donald Trump. I don't think you could do it anymore. It's just been up this whole time.
I can do it.
It was just been up the whole time, and I just didn't know why I was there. Yeah, you saw him just get up from.
Yeah, I'm not on an airplane this time, okay?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
saw.
and we're all sober.
Leaving it out, yeah. Are we?
So
What did you put in my white monster?
So Trump said that Miriam Adelson actually has been to the White House more than anybody in the last year. Now, we talked a lot about this on our last show, about the speech, about what was going on and what was going on here. Listen to this.
Just as I promised, I recognized Israel's eternal capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Jerusalem became the capital. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the White House probably almost more than anybody outside of people that work there. And they were always after, and as soon as I'd give them something, always for Israel. As soon as I'd give them something, they'd want something else. I said, give me a couple of weeks, will you please? But I gave them the Golan Heights, and they never even asked for it. For 72 years, they've been trying to do the Golan Heights, right? And even Sheldon didn't have the nerve. But I said, you know what? I said to David Friedman, give me a quick lesson, like 5 minutes or less on the Golan Heights. And he did. And I said, let's do it. We got it done in about 15 minutes, right?
All right, why'd you put this video in here?
I put it there, just him going over it. And then the one part where he goes ahead and he says, give me a couple weeks. Like, I'll go ahead and give you something else for Israel. And it really just shows you that Mary Adelson, and along with her deceased husband now, their main goal was to just push anything that's pro-Israel. That's why the influence that they have on the government, that's why they're giving the money, is really just to control us and to push us more towards being, Israel's greatest ally.
Yeah, so what you're finding here is that there are greatest donors to political politicians. When they say they're our greatest ally, what they're saying is that I get enough money from them that I respect them more than the American people. This is a rudimentary problem we have, because when you bring up this issue, that's what these chat leaks were about. It's about dismissing the rise of the populist right that says, I don't think any country should have an enormous amount of influence in this nation. And I want to tell you something absolutely hilarious that you guys will laugh about. So you can bring up my screen here. So Glenn Beck, obviously people know. You can see this. Glenn Beck follows me. Maybe they'll stop following me after this. I follow Glenn Beck. I've always respected Glenn as a pioneer of conservative radio, television, and he's very famously spearheading the Tea Party efforts, right? Before the Obama administration shut that down, right? So he's been a target of deep state coercion. Now, before we got into the Zionist conversation, there was a real rise in the real issues that were going on. Remember, the left started having the Occupy Wall Street. The right started having the Tea Party. There was a real grassroots movement above the right and the left to what? Fight against the banks. And Glenn Beck was a part of that. And the speech he gave in front of the Lincoln Memorial to this day is riveting and reminds me of a very, very different time in history with maybe several million people watching. And what a great man he is. And it's so shocking to me as such a great man that, number one, he's Mormon.
Valid. Very valid.
What? And number two, that he is just doesn't understand Zionism and how dangerous this ideology has become both in Christianity and in our country. He wrote something today that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I hope he didn't delete it. But he wrote, let me see, let me go down here. There's a bunch of stuff about okay, this has got to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. So he goes on a show and he says this. After you guys all saw the time where he got asked about AIPAC, but Monday we had Jeb on, Jeb Baugh, and we had this he got asked about AIPAC and their influence, and then he got asked if he was America first or Israel first, and he said that I am American first. Now, Gerald from Louder Crowder didn't agree with me that he avoided answering the question. You and I agreed that he avoided answering the question.
That's an aversion.
Then he also said that he doesn't understand anything from the past, and we ended up pulling up the video and showing how he asked for, citizenship in Israel and a few other things.
Oh, that one was tough.
It's like he basically said it's like so are you bisexual? It's like I love women. I've always loved women. It's like, wait, that's not. But what's the other part? But
Yeah,
do you also
bisexual
love?
do you love
the
just
man?
women.
Yeah, but do you like the man too? It's like, hey man, so you love you're American, but who do you love? Right? It's kind of important. The other thing, like, what do you love? And it's like, do you love America first? That's the question. Now he said this on X. He said, and I like Glenn, and I'm saying nothing about his character I like him. Just gonna read what he said. It's totally legal, not violating my NDA here. I did my homework on AIPAC and why they aren't required to register under FARA guidelines as an Israeli lobby. The real issue seems to be our legislation. To which I responded, yes, AIPAC and the blackmail from the Israeli lobby has influenced our legislation and perhaps even killed politicians to prevent themselves from being labeled under FARA. JFK pushing Nixon out. We all know about this.
Yep.
Yes, we've known this entire time. This is what we've been trying to explain. They're not our ally. It's like he's like, dude, you know what I realized? AIPAC is not the ones keeping themselves from being registered as FARA. It's our politicians that are writing legislation. Even the politicians that are getting the money from AIPAC to not legislate them as FARA. How did you write? Who wrote this? And I hope it was one of his aides, because he does have. I don't know if okay. Actually, I shouldn't say. Nope, I'm not gonna say anything. Who knows if his aides write some of his tweets? I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
But I hope it was. Hope it was just. I hope it was. So we'll see. We'll see. Yes, I know. I just in the same hour. I don't like to double up in the same hour. So I like to have two second hour, first hour. But I was gonna say, we remember that it's like, I feel like it's someone being like, you know what? I finally understand how whether it's the chicken or the egg first. I got an egg. I realized this came from a chicken. It's like, dude, that doesn't answer the question.
Doesn't answer anything, yeah.
That doesn't answer the question.
Well,
your egg came from a chicken, but that doesn't mean you know who came first. You're just like, you just notice something, and then you're like...
So you hear stupid things like that make no sense. And the other thing you hear as well is they're like, well, America lobbies in other countries. Well, America occupies other countries as well. And I don't get how we get to this point. Well, first off, as I said, I'm America first. So whatever we're doing to help our nation grow, and as long as it's not selling out to foreign interest, I'm in. But just to use that as an excuse, like, okay, well, let's choose two things that aren't right and then put them side by side and it makes it okay. That's not the case.
No, yeah, it's like, you shouldn't have killed people. Other people kill people.
Oh, well, if you put it that way, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah, like you got pistol whipped and robbed at gunpoint. Well, you know who else has? Every other person who's been pistol whipped.
You only stabbed them. Oh, most people shoot. That's not a problem.
All right, that being said, importantly, I want to remind you guys, national security today extends beyond military power. Like we mentioned, bad things are happening to include vital resources like copper, crucial for U.S. infrastructure, renewable energy, and cutting-edge technology. The U.S. relies heavily on imported copper, but with prices hitting 16-month peaks, global supply chain disruptions, and the possible shutdown of a major Indonesian mine, securing domestic production has become a national security imperative. District Copper Corp is stepping up to meet this need. Listed on the U.S. Stock Exchange as $CAXPF and on the Toronto Stock Exchange as DCOP, the company leverages its projects in resource-abundant areas to bolster U.S. supply chains and reduce dependence on foreign metals. Copper powers everything from electrical grids to electronics and defense systems, underscoring the importance of a reliable domestic supply. With growing demand, well-placed projects, and the Trump administration's emphasis on critical minerals, District Copper is well-positioned to help secure America's future. Potential expansion in the U.S. may be next, and we'll be keeping a close eye on developments. To learn more about the strategically focused company, visit districtcoppercorp.com, districtcoppercorp.com. Check the link in the description. A big thank you to District Copper Corp for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show. So we know that Trump then, with Miriam Adelson, he gave her the Medal of Freedom, which is like for American heroes. Check this out.
Our next Medal of Freedom recipient is a renowned philanthropist, somebody who's worked so hard, doesn't have to do it, but she does. 24 hours a day, this is what she does. Miriam Adelson. A medical doctor, Miriam has dedicated her life to fighting addiction, something we're all becoming all too familiar with. Through decades of innovative research, philanthropy, and treatment, Miriam has helped thousands break free from their addiction to drugs and to alcohol. In 2006, Miriam and her husband, Sheldon, who's with us today, thank you, Sheldon, established the Adelson Medical Research Foundation to prevent, reduce, or eliminate life-threatening diseases. To protect the sacred heritage of the Jewish faith, Miriam and Sheldon have supported Jewish schools, Holocaust memorial organizations,
And put a lot of money
and
in my
helped
pocket.
Jewish Americans visit the Holy Land.
$1 million.
Miriam, I want to thank you very much for saving so many lives and helping so many people to get back to a normal way of life.
All right. Help people get back to a normal way of life. How is fighting wars in Iran,
Leveling Gaza.
leveling Gaza, how is this you're helping people get to heaven or hell, but not necessarily.
Makes you wonder if that's why he keeps saying, I don't know if I'm going to heaven. Like, keep following these people in their actions, then yeah, it's going to be a little rough.
Yeah, I'm actually inviting.
That's a crazy statement. I thought it. So, truth be told, I didn't pay too much attention to the Medal of Freedom thing. I had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday. I thought it was only Charlie.
Well, this
who
is
got
a
it.
previous one. This
This-
isn't.
oh, this
This
was
isn't.
previous.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
this
yesterday.
isn't from.
doesn't that make
Okay.
it sad though about Charlie? Because it's like, you know,
Why
the
did he
Medal of
get the
Freedom
same
should be for
award?
people like that. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dude,
someone who
you got
actually-
killed and you got a president elected, and like you fought for debate. It's like you just gave money so a foreign country could rape our nation, Miriam Adelson, and then you're there. Reminding you guys that we are on audio only. We're on audio, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure to download the audio only version. If there's not a link in the description, please, Dylan, if you're watching this, or somebody else, I won't give away any more info from that. But if one of you guys could please just go ahead and note that we need to be advertising that in our description. It should always be there, how you can download the audio only. If it's there, then my bad. But to those of you guys that are watching, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit the button, and let us know. Someone said, hey, what percentage of locals sub does the channel get to keep? I don't know, actually. And it's actually separate. Locals is actually my social media page. And but it's something that I like, just like a person. It's not like a company thing. But it might be a company thing soon. I don't know. Got to figure that out, because there's a few structural things this company we've got to figure out the next 90 days. We got to figure it out. So I need some good projections. I'm very happy about it. Good news, though. My new pharmaceutical company, Patriot RX, is going to be launching.
It's great
next
news.
week. So we will have dick strips.
You
not
just
dick
flex
pills.
every time.
I can't
Every
help it.
time-
I was just fist
every time
pumping.
we say good
I was
news,
just
he
fist pumping.
flexes.
I was just fist pumping, but I'm so excited to take peptides. Like, dude, I'm so excited. I need peptides so bad. My shoulder is so messed
I need
up.
peptides too.
My back, hip, shoulders, knees. Scoliosis is a bitch. And so if I
Oh,
can help
man.
that pain, oh my
You
god.
have scoliosis?
Yeah, you didn't know?
Why would I know that? It's like, dude, you didn't know
okay,
it's
well, no,
scoliosis.
it used
Bro,
to be-
I have a wart on my ball.
You rub the hell out of his back all the
It
time. He
just-
probably
I
could
thought
have
you
told
would
the
have
bump.
felt it.
issue,
Yeah.
I thought you would have felt. No, but I
It's not a
used to-
lower
so-
back issue.
Yeah,
you know?
you're usually
It's
the
true.
little spoon, but I've
It's
heard
true.
you been
No,
on
it's
the other
usually
end.
very noticeable with scoliosis, but I fixed it to the point where you can't notice. That just makes me happy. That's a cool thing.
What about when girls ask you to give them lower back massages? It's just a massage.
That doesn't happen, I don't think. No? pretty sure that's not how those
Do you know what
work.
the tramp stamp is for? It's not for anything other than so you know how to massage with your
Oh,
fingers.
is that what it is?
It's like the wings are so that you know exactly how to do the thumb
Oh,
impressions.
see, I got something
I thought we were going
motivational.
back to daddy issues again, but
No, I got
that's-
the
that's
tramp
what that
stamp
is.
for like motivational because I didn't want people
Ah.
to see I had a tattoo, but at the same time I want to be like, so I got the Nike swish. It says just do it.
Really?
Oh, nice. There you go.
Wow, I didn't even know you had that.
Yeah.
That being said, interesting things. Looking back at who Trump used to be, Donald Trump said Sheldon Adelson is looking to give big dollars to Rubio because he feels he can mold him into a perfect little puppet. I agree, and I retweeted this and I said, you know, there's no better time now to find God than now because the devil's even able to corrupt our greatest fighter. And I'm really trying to be more diplomatic. I'm not trying to be this. People in the chat keep saying, such a lawyer started pushing Catholicism. I'm not Catholic. I'm not pushing Catholicism. Why does everyone say that? He's Catholic.
I'm
He
Catholic.
pushes Catholicism.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm not even like, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's like, if I'm talking about God and you're getting mad at the Catholic Church, maybe you have a problem. And you need to work that out with God.
That's a weird thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm just like, they're like, oh, you said to go see a priest. Do you know a priest, a pastor? It doesn't.
You know, priests are more than just Catholic, right? There's
Yeah.
Orthodox.
Lutheran,
those are
yes.
valid. Every high church Protestant has
Yes,
priests.
Anglican, yes. There's all over. A satanic church has a priest. It's like, you know, it's just a word.
But don't
It
go to the
means-
satanic church's priest.
Well,
That would probably be the one
dude,
that I would
no
say.
joke.
I've
Do you
been
want to
going
hear
to the
something?
wrong place.
Okay, so you know, here's something very hilarious about this. On a side note, so obviously, you know, we are in an age where there's a lot of attacks. Like, you know, there's this new Orthodox church that opened up. I believe this is it in Russia. Look at this. It's like, I appreciate the beauty of cathedrals. I just want to go look at them. We
Yeah,
went in El
absolutely.
Salvador to one. It was falling apart, but it was nice.
Yeah, I would do that with you.
So you know, so there's something great, you know, that is going on in this world. We're building brand new cathedrals. Also, to remind you guys, the world's largest Orthodox church that is still Orthodox is opening up. Look at this. So this is huge as well. Look at how small the people are. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. So what's crazy about that? I only bring this up so you can take it off the screen. Is just kind of like represent how cool things are doing. Before we blackpill about you know Adelson and the rest of the people, I do want to remind you guys that we are having a bit of a revival going on in our country.
yeah.
It's very cool. Fox News obviously reported this, which is interesting because they seem to be like the most non-Christian station in the world.
A Christian revival across the country. Bible sales increasing over 40% since 2022. Religion app downloads surging nearly 80%. That increase since 2019. And Christian music Spotify streams up 50% from 2019.
South Park was on it. We got to start a Christian rock band. I just want to make love with you, Jesus. Remember that? That was sacrilegious. But remember, he was like, you just take old songs that are about sex and love, and then you just replace girl with Jesus. It's like, although that's sacrilegious, I shouldn't have said that. It is funny because a lot of Christian music is like that. It's like,
100%.
Yeah.
dude, did you ever see that one clip? I used to play more clips here from like churches, like just like kind of like crazy Protestant churches or like evangelical.
Yeah.
And then there was this. This is not an over exaggeration. I need to find the clip because it's like, you know, like when a lot of times like Pentecostal preachers like will be like they'll be playing worship and the pianos like going and it's like, hey, it's like, you guys feel that? Like the Lord's out there today, you know, the Holy Spirit is no, but they're like, you know, these people are sincere. It's like the Holy Spirit is on the room and you gotta know, you know, start screaming like this. You gotta know that God is coming in this room. And then he's like this. Wait, and he literally does. And I don't know why he says it in his voice. He's like, you gotta tell God, enter into me. And you just everybody together yell, enter into me, Daddy. Daddy, come on, enter into me. Just go right in, Daddy.
It's not the right thing you want to be
and
saying.
I was listening, and I was like,
That's
dude,
crazy.
that is not going to say that.
Yeah,
Actually,
you were like, I've been religious this whole time
Yeah.
and didn't even know it.
See, that's,
San Francisco's the most religious city in America.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, hey, maybe enter into me, Daddy is
Yeah.
not.
You know-
I hate it when they say like, Daddy God. It's like, dude,
yeah.
just stop.
But
like,
you know-
it is God. Like, at least be real. And if you're gonna say Daddy God, whatever, in your
Then
own
the
time,
smoke machine
Yeah.
hits and
it's,
you get
you know what,
everything.
it's a Talladega moment.
You know
And
what
maybe
sucks?
Jesus is like
Yeah.
in a Taco Bell.
It's my favorite baby, Jesus.
Well, you know what sucks about it though is because that's our over sexualized brains. Like,
No,
just with
it's not.
No,
but
it's just
both.
that's
No,
not
both.
the- I don't agree with this one.
I don't agree with the statement in general, but I'm saying words, terms, and things have, because of hypersexualization, been even more so. Like, to somebody who has no concept of
Enter
porn
into
or
me,
whatever.
Daddy.
No, that was still
Come
way
on,
too much. That's still way
enter
too
into
much.
me,
Way
Daddy.
too much. Way too much. But I'm
Braden's
just
over
saying
here
is,
like, can I get a hallelujah?
But I'm just saying in general, like Holy Spirit come or whatever. Like, that's
Yeah.
just a regular phrase, but so many people will take that and be like, oof. like people are afraid to take communion kneeling on the tongue because they're like, oh, it just looks weird. It's like, that's hypersexual.
that's different.
But you see
Yeah,
what I'm
I've
saying? It's
never
like-
heard of any of that.
Either have I.
Oh, I have.
yeah.
When I originally started looking into
Oh my
Catholicism,
gosh.
there was a whole thing with Rad Trads, Vatican II, and everything.
He's like, I was on 4chan, and this is what they were
4chan.
saying.
This is why people are
Dude,
convert.
you do not look at Catholicism on X or 4chan. Don't do it. Dude, don't do it.
I don't know. That's the part of the Christianity I call political Catholicism, where they're weird. But I'm talking about just in general. If you use a sexual phrase to describe God, you're going to make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then this not the end of it. It was literally they post them. It's like they post them regularly. Like, that's a weird way of wording things. They always like put the live streams up, and then it was like one of them was asking the Holy Spirit to penetrate you.
Yeah, that's
and
too
it was
much.
like penetrate me, Holy Spirit, and it's like it's different things. You're like, okay, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like, I know what you mean. But this is where you can't let emotions overtake like the holiness of God, because you don't want to make light of that. But I will say, like, I just want to give the white pill. Like, yes, there is a lot of weirdness going on, a lot of strange things, but not all strange things are bad. To some people, like you said, just serving God is weird. The idea of God is weird, and it is kind of weird. It's weird to the flesh because the things of the Spirit are uncomfortable or they're foreign to the flesh. But to those who are of the Spirit, the things that guide you, they lead you to the truth. They're comforting, right? So the Bible talks about that. If you're of the flesh, the things of the Spirit are foreign, and it's true. It's fine if you're not of the Spirit. But I also got to say, to remind people on a daily basis, the reason why you're depressed probably is because either A, you're addicted to pornography, B, you're unhealthy physically, and you suffer with gluttony, or C, there's something else you're dealing with sin, and you're not tackling the sin issue in your heart, and that's probably why you're not really like satisfied with God, or you're not seeing God work in your life, is because you're not working on the difficult parts of your life with God. And you're not, because you're probably like me, and this is not lecturing, you're probably like me, who also has not been doing that, because whatever those difficult parts are, it could be envy and jealousy or whatever. For most men, it's probably just like serious porn addictions and lust, probably.
Porn's
for
a
most
big
men.
one. Yeah, it's like
Just lust in
80% of
general.
guys watch porn monthly or something. It's
Monthly,
insane.
and then the other 99% of guys surveyed lied. It's like daily or weekly. It's like guys are like, I look at porn monthly. It's like, no one does that.
Yeah.
The I look at porn once a month. Cop out from Christian guys, especially, is like the equivalent of the I only had 2 beers officer when you've had 10.
Yep. Yeah.
Everyone has always only had 2. It's like, well, every month I look at it a few times. Like, brother, just because you skipped 2 days in a row this month, that doesn't count.
Yeah, and
That's still
I
28
think
days.
that when people try to put up this front of who they are and they try to lie, like, the once a month, which the person's most likely going to much more, what that does is, they're trying to recover their image, but it also pushes people away as well that are struggling, that are seeking help, that are trying to get closer to God. I know one of the things that you were mentioning is that you felt like because of the changes you were making in your life, you were struggling at the moment, and because of that, you felt like you weren't, you shouldn't be going to the church until you resolve them, but that's not the case. It's like a fat person saying I should be skinny before I finally go to the gym. It just doesn't add up. So what we need to do is we need to be more vocal about what we struggle with, more vocal about the things that we're running into in our lives that are giving us all this trouble, and then be there for each other versus trying to say, oh, I'm much better than everybody else and point your finger around. And that's just not how it really works.
No, and find people who can hold you accountable too, because it's not enough to just be like, well, I'll do it on my own and I'll be strong enough. Because like the Bible says, flee from youthful lusts, flee from lustful temptations. Those are that's the verse. You can't even fight it, so run the hell away. So find good brothers that are willing to hold you accountable, that are willing to give you hard truths, where it's like, look, what you did was wrong, but God still loves you and you need to turn away from it and run.
Also, what's her ad again? I'm just kidding. You're giving someone like advice. Like, dude, you just saying wrong. But also, what's her at?
That's crazy.
By the way, I like Guitar MG said, I only drink it Monday, Wednesday, Friday between 7 and 9 p.m.
Okay.
All
So
right.
at least you got a schedule.
All right. So
Thank you for sharing.
So There's a few more things we
right.
can
Well,
talk
we're
about here about the Adelsons. Going back to this, just to remind you guys something very important here. Make sure that you know that you can get this coffee, Blackout Coffee, at blackoutcoffee.com/rift for 20% off. It's creamy, it's smooth, it's delicious.
And you won't get fatigue from this one.
And it can enter into you. Yeah, but it won't give, this is black coffee that won't give you fatigue. It's true. But guys, support the show. Think about grabbing some coffee. If you haven't already and you're like, hey, I need some more coffee beans. You never run out of coffee with Blackout Coffee. Also, it is sourced with care, crafted with passion, and expertly roasted in the USA. They're a family-owned coffee roasting company out of Florida, right here. We need this. Can you write that down as well? Tell Dylan that we find out where they are, so maybe we can go do like a little tour and go around and like.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because I'm gonna be up in I think. Should I go to the Two Halls concert on Sunday? And I don't know.
Oh yeah, you were gonna do
Isn't that your
I already
king?
paid
You were
for it.
telling me how
Yeah,
you.
that was the
Well, I
guy.
already paid
He's
for it,
obsessed
but I'm
with
trying
him.
to make. But I'm also trying to make better decisions right now. I probably won't make good decisions at that concert.
Then no. That's the easiest thing way to avoid sin is to avoid situations that'll put you in sin.
Well, I didn't say it was a sin. It's just a good choice.
But
You
no. I'm
should
saying
go.
the easiest way
Yeah, I was
to
like,
avoid.
I'll be the other guy in the shoulder. You
Yeah,
really
wait,
should
wait.
go.
I just meant like
This
meaning,
will
like,
be great.
I gotta be focused. And if I go, I'll probably like have some drinks, and then I'll be like tired in the morning, but like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I won't like be like set for work because I have to get here from work. So it's like not the best decision. But I'm also a guy. And sometimes I really enjoy making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Which is my struggle. Who knows that struggle? Of like some days I'm just like I gotta make good decisions. And other days I'm like, you know what? I've made good decisions for 48 hours. Right?
That's the temptation. That's the whole. That's the whole reason we're fighting.
But
That's
it's
why
not
we're
all, It's not
here.
all sin. It's just like you've been eating well. I was like, I will have a big piece of cake.
Yeah,
like
Oh, a cheat meal
Little
is acceptable.
indulgent.
Cheat meals
well,
are very acceptable.
when cheat meals,
eating.
your cheat meals, your average meal. It's not necessarily a cheat meal. Okay, all right, moving
Very
along,
fair.
moving along. All right, so the Adelsons. Let's talk about the Adelsons. Mike Huckabee actually likes them too. I don't know if there's anybody who's Jewish that Mike Huckabee doesn't like.
Oh, you seen him doing his concert
Yeah, we'll
that he
watch
had?
that. Check this out.
Tonight, I'm reminded of the day that the embassy was dedicated in 2018. I was so grateful to President Trump for making the bold and courageous decision that despite all of the opposition across the planet, he was going to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, as he should. Other presidents promised it, but they always found a reason to back away. President Trump made a promise, and he kept the promise. And on the day that we were here, and I was overwhelmed with emotion as I sat at the dedication of the embassy having moved to Jerusalem, there was a young man in the crowd, and he was exuberant. He was an American, and he was looking around, and he said, "Wow, I've been waiting 20 years for this to happen." Sheldon Adelson, who along with his wife Miriam, who is here tonight, major contributors to this incredible excavation. Sheldon, who I absolutely adored because he was one of the funniest men I've ever known. When the young man said, "Wow, I've waited 20 years for this," Sheldon, in his very dry way, just looked and said, "Son, we've been waiting 2,000 years for this."
Right. So we've been waiting.
Braeden said he
years.
loved the concert.
Dude, that was
that in there?
a friggin' like dude can play bass. I'm a bass fan,
I told him his Jewish half is showing.
not a fan of the type of music. Like I will say, as someone who got to see Freebird live, they did it a disservice.
Oh God.
So
But,
we need to talk about something kind of interesting here. So there is a new head of product. And I need to see if I can find this here. There is a new head of product at X, a website where the #1 news source for the entire world, actually. And there is a statement that was made that was by Dominic Michael Trippi, said, "An ex-executive says creator monetization program may potentially be ended, saying the system does more harm than good." Now, when I first heard this, I both agreed and disagreed. Paying creators to make content from platforms has been bad in the way that, like on YouTube, people stop talking about things that they don't want us talking about in order to maintain the income, like the war in Ukraine, like the COVID vaccinations, like the 2020 election, right? They've essentially told people that if you want to make money, then you need to think the way we think. And that's caused a lot of problems in political discourse. It's caused discrimination. It's just evil. It's wrong. And it's the same people that the Adolfsons are that control these things and are a part of them. However, X had also had a new thing that was problematic because we started getting a lot of these bots, like Indian bots, and people who started just flooding with the site with AI content. Everyone knows it's like fake news, AI content. That's just like Santa Claus, lose leg. It's like, it's like Santa Claus with a robot leg on Facebook or something, whatever it is. And then like some boomer's like, so sad. I hope he can deliver gifts, And you're like, dude, what are you talking about? Okay, we don't want this.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of foreigners gaming the system, and I just said like, I don't think that's the best thing because Matt Walsh said, thank God monetization was a cool idea in theory and worth a try, but it's unquestionably been a net negative. And I said, Matt, as a millionaire, you don't know how important X payments has become to some valuable creators, should say have. Shutting off the payments entirely due to the abuse of some bad actors in foreign nations isn't the solution. The money available from advertising should be going to Americans because it's an American platform, particularly the money spent from American companies. Foreign countries should not get access to our creator economy unless they have a visa that allows them to work in the USA. Americans shouldn't be penalized for the economic crime of foreigners. You can't charge people for social media and then take away any financial incentive for them to use the app. So you can take it off the screen there.
I mean, for us who are not collecting $7,000 paychecks every tweet, it's something that we rely towards to, help us, especially in this industry.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is I should run them right back to Matt. Wait, seems the only most useless and boring farmers actually make all their money here, but I may be wrong. Let me see. I am demonetized on almost every other platform. Actually, don't. I'm just kidding. No, but I was gonna say, I don't rely to pay my rent. Well, I'm just joking. I just pay my rent, but I do like the money. It's like it is helpful. I do make a significant amount of money on X, enough that it's helpful, and I have other ways to make money on X. It's not just from the X creators payout, but I do know people who make significant amount of money on there that do spread the news, like Nick Sortor. Spreads a lot of news. You have Andy No, right? And individuals who use X and probably make a lot of money. They have high creator payouts. It probably doesn't seem significant. Like if Matt's making like $4,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, if you're making like, a couple $100K a month, losing $10K doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? Because you don't really need it. But if you're making like $5K a month and you're making like 2 extra K on X, that's really changing your life. That's really
a 33% jump.
Correct. You're really, really changing your life and your ability to provide. So it is important. I am going to actually answer that question, rightfully so, and make a list of people that I think are making good money on there. But also, like, does it matter if they're making the content you like? Because I, for instance, don't make any money on YouTube at all, right? My main YouTube channel has been destroyed. Rumble is great, but it doesn't pay that much. X does pay okay, but not amazing. What I was saying is that they should make it pay better by restricting Indians from like other countries from gaming our system. It's an American platform, so we should be able to have Americans on our platform. You see,
I mean, does that mean Ian Miles Chong is not going to get money?
Well, I don't know, but I will say this. There is interesting because this guy, you don't put it up yet, Nikita Bear, who has been getting a lot of flack from people, I think came up with a pretty good idea. And I'm going to bring it up on my page here. I think that he brought up the fact that people in foreign countries, they should have to list the country that you're tweeting from.
Yeah.
I know it's a privacy issue for some people, but and if you don't want it to show, that's why. If you don't want it to show it for privacy reasons, well, it says this person has declined to release what country they're from. And so I think, like, I would like to block all my political posts from people in certain regions and people who decline to post where they're from.
Yep.
I like my posts to only be available to people in the West, in America, and Western Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and our protectorates. I don't want to be seen by anybody else. And I think that's really, really nice because it would be nice if I could prevent Indians from, community noting my Indian jokes, right? It's like, well, this joke's for Americans, dude. It's for Americans in America. You have to have a visa to come here. You have to have a visa to work here. And unless you have a visa to work in America, why are you getting money from the advertisers in America?
Yeah.
Why are you getting money? Why are we spreading it thin so you can game our system? There's 1.2 billion of you. There's only like 150 million white guys of us that created this country. And, we started all these companies, Jews and whites started like all these tech companies. And we're getting pelted. We're not we're making less money. So close the gap. It's like, why can everybody just make you said like an Indian creator is the biggest creator on YouTube. And it's like, why are they sharing in like ad revenue, unless it's just their own ad revenue that's targeted in their country?
Yeah.
It's like they can gain ad revenue that's in their country, but also you should give that ad revenue as well to Americans, because why is your company not about benefiting America? Why is your company about this universal company that universally benefits the world? You are here, you are in this country. Social media is being run like it's a cruise ship. How cruise ships skirt taxes by putting a flag of like Barbados, but then they dock here in Florida, and you're like, dude, that's so sketchy, dude. That's so sketchy.
Yep.
Social media companies run like that. It's like, well, everyone just has to have access to the global square. Why does my American politics, I could write something about American politics and a guy in Indonesia, they have a bot farm and then community note and demonetize my post. That's not fair. That's we have to have digital boundaries. And I always prefer boundaries to be in the hands of the user. Like, I always prefer it to be like, yeah, don't block India from seeing my post. I'll choose that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's the region. I don't care if it's extra views. They're not helpful. They're low quality. And also with the money, they already did kind of change it where they lowered the amount that Indians can make and stuff because they were gaming the system so that the payments went from like 300 every 2 weeks to over like 1,200. It went up like 75%.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were
bot
gaming
farms.
it.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to just have like better restrictions. But so I think that this guy Nikita came up with this idea that we should have this. I think that it's a good idea, and I think he's not getting any credit. I don't think he's getting credit. I think people are just shitting on him because of his past political beliefs. And it's like, okay, so this is like that dumb thing that conservatives do. It's like, yeah, so he had some dumb or some things you don't agree with that he said in the past. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I will say stopping payments is a bad idea, but fixing them is the right idea. So fix them. You know what I mean? It's good.
Is he the guy that gave the bonus payout to that one Zoomer dude who did the
I don't know if he gave it, but I know he's
the one who was like,
yes.
Yeah, he was the one who was like, check your DMs. That's who this Nikita guy. Okay, that makes sense. Dude, that's a fantastic idea. I would love to block India. Are you kidding me? But the power to the people. Not just like, oh, you're not allowed to see them anymore. But it's stupid. Why are they allowed to game the system? I just really, really, really don't like them. No.
Look, this is what they come in. Look, and it's always these people. It's always these people that they get mad. That's what I'm saying. Look, I say this about wanting to block countries, right?
Yeah.
And then like, who's mad? Furkan Gazukara. Oh, so that's a nice German name.
Yeah.
Let's see how he looks. Okay.
There he is.
Yeah.
If that's him.
Yeah. Yep. It's always like I'm a German guy. Yeah, just a swarthy German.
Yeah, that's German, all right.
Yeah. And it's like, so we don't get to pay? Dude, get the fuck out of my comments.
Yeah.
Get out of my comments. I don't want to talk to you. You're Indian. I don't care about your country. It's gross. I don't want to be there. I'm sorry. I said this. All my posts that are like about God and stuff, yes, you can look at those and get away from worshiping demons, and I'm okay with that. If you want to share in spiritual growth and understand, but dude, your country's messed up because it's filled with people like you. It's not messed up because of colonialism or whatever. And look, this is why I don't like pacifist Christians out there. It's like, well, don't be mean, Elijah. Don't be mean. No, dude. If somebody's gonna, rape my wife, I'm gonna kill them. Okay? That's not being mean. That's being smart and practical. When I'm trying to run a political system, I have to choose who can vote. Look what's happened when we let everybody vote and women vote. We have a disaster of a shell of a democracy.
Cooked.
I don't hate women. I don't hate minorities, but they don't have my interests. Look at what happens when AOC, she talks about trying to help poor bartenders. And you have Rashida Tlaib and these people talking about how we need to help Somalia and we need to help the Middle East. You have Jewish leaders, dual citizens, talk about helping Israel. I don't want to help any of these people.
None at all.
Not in Christ, sure. God can help them. And there might be charity or love and help. But in terms of my tax dollars, my nation state, as a Christian, you have to make a distinction between the benevolence of a social heart for the world and the idea that your country It matters for the safety of your women, for the safety of your children, for the financial security. The fact that my boys are disadvantaged in this country for being white, blonde hair, and blue eyes. They are disadvantaged because I don't come from pedigree. And then the corporate jobs, they've reduced basically all raises and promotions for white men. That's because we've let other people into our country. It's because people like Larry Fink have been allowed in, who then pushed DEI all the way down from BlackRock, who's not a white American, so that he doesn't care about discriminating against white people.
Yeah, it's when they hire Indians to be the CEO of FedEx, and then the CEO of FedEx, who's Indian, hires the vice chairman and the COO of FedEx, both as Indians. Honestly, how about this? You don't even have to do the country designation. If you want to get ad revenue on X, you have to type Christ is King and I hate and denounce the demon Vishnu. How about that? If you just say that you denounce Vishnu the demon, you can get ad revenue on X. Maybe that's the deal.
Yeah, that is true. You have to deny Vishnu.
Yep.
I
That's the
tweet
name,
that out.
Vishnu?
Yeah,
Just
Vishnu.
tweet
It's
that out. I'll
Vishnu.
retweet you.
All right, I'll do it right now.
Tweet that out. I'll retweet you. You have to deny Vishnu to get ad credit. You have to type this out. I would say breaking. Say this. Say breaking. X executives say to fix the, or say X executives claim you must, quote, deny Vishnu in a tweet. Deny Vishnu is God in a tweet in order to obtain, or in order to fix the creator revenue program, saying, quote, this will help balance out the amount of people that can game the system or something. Make it like a real announcement.
Yeah.
And put up that graphic from the chat that said, I deny
Figured it
Vishnu.
out, guys.
The
That's
graphic?
true.
What chat?
In our
Is it in
the one that should never leak, our group chat.
Yeah, oh man, if that got leaked.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Did
We'd
someone
be
just
done.
send it?
No, it's in there, buddy.
All right.
It's in there. It is in there. SAR, do not compete, SAR. SAR, remember how that girl that was crying at our speech when I was just like, and then you talked about Jay Billy and you prayed at the end. That's a mockery. It's like, hey, ma'am, your tears are, you can save your crocodile tears, okay? There are real men in this country that are really turning to God because we care. No, we're not like, clean cut, kind, very soft-hearted people. We've seen a lot. The Lord is softening our hearts, but also you got to realize, like, we're not becoming pansies, like, because we turn to God. We're not like, okay, everyone can just come into our country now. Oh yeah, there's just because God's real, then races aren't different. And God's real, and that doesn't mean that there's not an international banking cartel trying to destroy our whole world and make it global. It's like, dude, you still have to fight those issues.
Yeah.
You just don't have to let those issues corrupt your heart. Because if you really just focus on the worldly issues, you'll become very, very bitter and depressed. But if you have God and you focus on God while fighting the issues, you have strength to overcome them, right? So you're like, dude, this battle seems impossible. And it does. It does seem, I don't even know how we're going to do anything. It feels like we're just talking about things and it's getting worse,
I think more people are waking up.
Yeah, but it's getting worse.
Yeah. The
The people are waking up. But
people are waking up.
situations-
The government is getting a lot worse. They're limiting our speech. We're going to see a lot of other things coming. I'm sure.
I'm not
in the
happy
next few,
about it.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it. Let me see what this is. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why does he live so far? Notice there's like, oh, you want to come have a cigar or whatever? And it's like, kind of, yeah, actually. It's like 30 minutes away.
Yeah. 30. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Everybody lives within like 10 minutes of here.
Me being 45 minutes away.
The
one
nerve
way.
of you, noticer.
But you don't invite people over often.
It's true. I'm not like, hey, everyone drive up an hour to come hang out.
Yeah, but that's what you come early, you have food, you hang out.
No, I'm
you
here, yeah.
It's all good. All right. Anyways, I want to talk about
super
that.
chats or anything you got to go through.
No, but we should talk a little bit about digital ID a little bit. Okay, so everybody knows that the UK is in a political firestorm of people trying to figure out whether or not they should implement digital IDs. And Joe Rogan spoke about this a little bit, about the mass arrests that they've already been having in the UK over social media posts, and how this could cause a problem. Reminding you guys, in Australia, they're also connecting digital ID to accessing the internet. Watch this. Like you said, posthumously, I'm just like, sort of like rightfully suspicious of everyone. He is too. I'm like kind of suspicious of everyone.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
okay,
suspicious of everybody.
why do you want me to join your group? I'll go to group. Like, I'm going to church. I'm going to try to go to an Orthodox. I'm going to go to this one in Lake Worth, or West Palm Beach area, Lake Worth area, this Sunday at 10.
Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I apparently someone I know that's really like even in the Orthodox Church, people are like, don't go to that one. It's Greek, and this one's Antiochian. I don't even know what any of this means, but whatever. I'm going to like.
That is why I couldn't do Orthodoxy.
Well, I get the same thing from Catholics.
Yeah,
It's new mass. Don't go to new mass.
I know,
It's not new mass. You got to do Latin mass. No, it's not Latin mass.
I know.
They
Catholics-
don't come to this church. They don't respect the Vatican too. It's like, dude, okay.
It's true. The rad trads.
You just said this. I'm gonna shut you down here and say. Also, like with Lutheran, they also like the ELCA and this and that. Like this person's like, hey, I literally said this Sunday, they were like, please, I know you're like, looking at Orthodox and Catholics, but you got to come with me to Lutheran. Lutherans respect God, they love God. One of our donors is Lutheran, and then was like, oh, oops, there was a lesbian pastor when we went, and I was like,
That was crazy.
all right.
Yeah.
Cat's Dead 8679 said, I live in Dallas, and the Adelsons bought the Mavs literally so they can start casinos in Dallas, and they traded Luka to do it. Screw them, bro. I don't think they got it though.
Wait, actually?
I don't think they got it.
All I know
How
is
does buying a basketball team get you a casino?
well, they run all the
lobbying.
casinos in Vegas too. Not all of them, but they have a
Because
lot
you
of
manipulate.
control.
It's like you control what happens
Italians
with the
don't run
sports
the
game.
Las Vegas anymore.
Okay. That makes. I just wasn't putting two. I was thinking.
Don't
slot
they run
machines
Win,
and
or is
stuff.
it not that they're not Win? The
What,
other ones.
what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. It stays with Mossad now.
Yeah, and wasn't
It's
Win
way
wasn't Win the
different.
only guy who wasn't a part of this, and then they got him out on sex charges?
Yeah, yep. I think that
He was the only
one.
guy who like wouldn't play ball with the Jays, and they got him out on like sex accusations out of his own hotels.
Yep.
Steve Wynn. Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
A
That's
couple
their playbook.
DMs I got from you guys. I'll just read them. I just so you guys. Thank you guys. You guys reach out a lot on X. This guy said, ET Disrespecter said, love your posts. Perfect attitude and spirit. God has destiny for you. Our job is simply to follow him step by step in faith. You will be sanctified by seeking his face. He is loving and faithful, patient and gracious, good-hearted, even funny himself. Truly, he's the perfect father, the ultimate in every sense of what is good and righteous. Never be afraid of his face or open arms out of respect and love for him. Only be afraid of his judgment, which convicts us and corrects us. Clearly, you are feeling this because you are humbling yourself. I don't know if I am. And earnestly seeking his guidance. This is a beautiful thing. He will remain faithful to you, Elijah. He has time for things to develop. Just trust him and do your best. You will fall short, but get back up, repent, and continue on. He will always be there for you, even when we don't sense him around. He is working on his time. He works in mysterious and complex ways beyond our understanding, but have faith. He knows what he is doing, and he has a plan, but they are for the ride. I'm so glad to call you a brother in Christ, and I'm excited to see this development in your journey. You'll be my prayers, your friend, and he gave his name, which I will not read, because ET Disrespecter should remain there. A couple other DMs. Someone said, just a quick note. Thank you for everything you do with your show and your posts. About to go back to church. I'm trying to figure out where I fit in best too. It's encouraging, and I'm sure there are plenty of people who are being motivated at your posts. Crypto Fight Week said, hey, I hope you enjoyed our Singapore show. Would you ever get in the ring? What does that mean? Huh?
Get in the ring. We're throwing hands.
It's the only crypto boxing promotion, bringing your shows all over the world, sponsoring fighters. Oh, it's a influencer boxing ring. Yeah, I'd be interested.
I would jump in.
You guys could train me, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I would join the training.
I
That'd
would
be
do
fun. We could do live stream training.
I'm
That'd
in.
be
Yeah, I'll
fun.
just start doing it regularly and get real fit.
Throw hands. I'm
really
ready.
uncoordinated. I'm probably gonna die, but
That's fine.
I'll get you ready, buddy.
I'm like really goofy.
We'll
Like
get it going.
Like I'm like really like kind of an uncoordinated, like autistically goofy guy. Like I can't like do anything really sports wise. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm like very.
I prefer Muay Thai, but I can do boxing.
I want to do Muay Thai.
Yeah, I love Muay
But I'll
Thai.
box.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Did Muay Thai boxing for 15 years. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to do it, but I would try it. For $10 with a super chat, let's go! Rabbi Paula White told me to give you some shekels, and they put the Golgotha cross. Very nice.
Let's go.
Also down here, let me see a few more of these chats going on. No, it's good. Just so you know. Wow. Oh, someone said Steve Wynn's real name is Weinberg. Oh, I don't know if that's true though. Someone said Elijah versus Ed Krasenstein. I don't think that's. I don't think legally can box
You
people of
versus
that.
the brothers combined.
Yeah, on
That's
his
fair.
shoulders. I'm like,
He sits on
I
the
don't think we can do that. I will tell you though, I was just in like a Lululemon day and I didn't have time. I know it sounds super gay, but it was like I was wearing like a white t-shirt. Sorry that we're underdressed for the show today. We should normally keep our apparel, but I did we just had one of these days.
Just one of them days.
Just one of those days we
Yes.
didn't have time to get home and change and do all this stuff. So I apologize. Someone said, Elijah, you'd get demolished. Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
Let me fill in for you.
Yeah,
I'll just go.
Well, probably, but I'm saying like It depends on like if you get paid for even joining the ring. Like, if they give you like 10 grand just for jumping in, I'll be like, okay,
I would do that. Are you kidding?
yeah, 10 grand. I get beat up. It's like whatever. Okay, like it's gonna be fun to do. It's fun to train, make content, and then like, dude, I'd have to get like really big on it. Like, yo, I'm gonna kill you and your grandma. It's like you're all going down. I'm gonna throw rocks through your sister's window. You know, I love the shit talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna piss on your dog. You know, it's like what?
This is why we need
It's
more
like
like
funny stuff. You know?
This is why we need like boxers and MMA fighters to run for office in America so that they could be doing that during debates. Just like
throw
their
it out.
opponent says
Yeah.
something and he's like, I will hunt your family down one by one. And he's like, just the person is a politician, just scared shitless. That's what I would want to see.
I just never
Sounds
forget
more
Sam
like
Hyde.
WWF wrestlers to be or WWE, whatever.
Sam Hyde was the best though.
I will break you.
But Sam Hyde, Hassan Piker, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you. And he's like, you mean figuratively, right? Like hypothetically, no. For real. In this real life, I'm gonna come kill you. It's like, what the hell? How do you say that?
Wait, how big is Sam Hyde? Is he
He's
like
a big boy, yeah.
so Hassan's a big dude. They should get them to box if that hasn't already
Dude,
happened.
it's the problem is Sam Hyde's actually a good boxer, apparently. I don't know if that's true.
I would
but-
be so down. Make them like the title fight or night.
Someone said, okay, let me see a couple more notes here. I'm not gonna read any of these like about Orthodox, whatever. Someone else, good thing in Webben said, praying for you, brother. Glad to see the Lord guiding you. Really appreciate the content you guys have been making to see where he will take you all on your journey. Stay close to Webben. He's a good dude, as I'm sure you already know. Holler at me if you ever are in or around Nashville and want to grab a brewski / cigar. Yeah.
We love Webben. Cool guy.
You know, I go
Yeah,
back and
great
forth.
guy.
I go back and forth on a lot of things. And this time I'm just trying not to go back and forth. So we're just going to keep making content, having a good time. Anyways, people want to find you and follow you.
All right. You can find me at snowflake_news. I'm on Instagram as well as X. I'd love for you to come check out the page.
Yes, she.
And then,
rainbow
at-
sliding.
Then at Braeden Sorbo and any all social platforms, I just put up the Vishnu thing, so everyone go repost that so that X implements it. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I gotta go take Braeden, because Braeden's a good boy, doesn't know how to buy cigars. So I gotta go take him to go buy a gift for somebody
Aw.
who needs a gift. But I also like am laughing because it's like it's true. I remember too with cigars, it's very confusing. Like, am I buying just because they're expensive doesn't mean they're good, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And just because they're not expensive doesn't mean they're not good.
This is why I enlist your help.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you something good that actually can buy them. But they are expensive, and so shout out to you guys. Someone said E loves huevos. Isn't that eggs? Or
That's
something?
just eggs. Yeah, huevos or eggs.
Oh,
Or
Bad Bunny
testicles?
said $5. Said when you come back to Gainesville, my husband and I want to take you to breakfast. I'm actually supposed to be in Gainesville Monday morning. Weirdly enough, am I going to be there? After how long it took to get there, I'm
Oh,
considering
that was torture.
not. Yeah.
But we take a break because we go to Tampa and then
Dude, how about
Right.
this? My bags just showed up to Sam's house today. It's
Awesome.
Wednesday, and they were supposed to come. They were supposed to come last Thursday. They
They're
were
6
paid
days late.
expedited. That's the U.S. Postal Service.
they
For
said
you.
no, huevos are balls, not eggs.
No. Ganas is balls, right?
You got me translating over here.
Huevos could be testicles. I'm pretty sure it's testicles. I mean, I'm sure it is eggs, but people definitely go like, you got some huevos on you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a phrase I've heard before.
It comes up as eggs under translation, but maybe it's like a slang.
I think,
you
no, I
know-
think it's just ganas that grab you by the balls. I
Uh,
think that's the slang, is ganas.
Yeah, people are saying huevos are balls, not eggs. Yeah.
yeah.
In that context specifically.
Okay. Well, they meant to say that you want balls or you like balls. So
No,
Based?
I'm going to say that that's not true. But I'm also going to say I grew up in L.A., dog.
that's true.
So you're up in South Florida.
No, I didn't grow up in South
Oh,
Florida.
he said,
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say,
maybe
none of
for
us-
Cubans, but not Mexicans. Mexicans, hey, fool. Huevos. I was like, yo, dog. There's got to be a white. Hey, white boy. It's like, what the hell, dude? You are 4 feet tall. You can't be intimidating. Okay? Someone said, okay. Good night, guys. Did you already plug yourself?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you to our support staff today. Thank you to Mendoza. Thank you to Joey. If you want to see a video of Joey and me, go to our Discord. You can join our Discord by joining our locals, ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. Sorry that we're not going to be doing an extra segment today. I'm just just having a very, very long week, and I trying to get a lot of things launched. We're supposed to be launching our new White House show, which, remind you guys, be patient. These shows take a long time to develop. We have a new talent. His name's Jordan Conradson. He's developing his new show tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern time. But you can watch it all morning. It's probably most valuable to be watched between like 7 to 11 because like the next time like more news comes out about 12 to 2, the new briefings. But 7 to 11, it's gonna be on thegatewaypundit.com as well as on the front page. And give some constructive feedback. Grab it when you can. In the future, it'll be launched early on locals, so they'll launch it like at the night before actually, so you can like watch it after this or see what the report is, what's going on. 7 a.m. on the front page here, hopefully on Rumble. We'll see you there. For the rest of you guys, have a great rest of the week as always. And may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.